man. Welcome back to another episode of the Organic Mindset Podcast with your host, Justin Williams. And I got another returning guest, special guest, though, you know what I'm saying? So you're going to have to take some notes for this one. I feel like, it's going to be a good episode. We got a lot of things in stores, but I'm going to let him reintroduce himself.
Yeah, I already know what's going on, man. It's your boy Kane. Y'all go give me a follow at on my Instagram at fml_.kane, Kane.
Yes, sir. And y'all go look for that in the description. But we about to jump right into it. So the first thing we're going to discuss is the importance of having a hobby or a craft. So what's your views on that?
I feel like it is important to have a hobby or a craft, that way I feel like it'll keep you productive, and you know what I'm saying, you never know what it could be. You could have it could even bring you different streams of income and all over, you know what I'm saying, just keep you productive.
Yeah.
Like for me, one of my crafts or hobby you would call, I guess, would be making music. I like to make music. I do a lot of reading, working out. Yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And I mean, I feel like you really kind of hit a high point when you talked about pretty much, having it as a stream of income. I feel like that's important because I feel like a lot of people, most of the time I consider a hobby, to be something that you enjoy doing. So if you enjoy doing it, then you could, make money from it too. That's almost like a plus. And as far as like the other things, as far as like reading, working out and stuff like that, I kind of look at those as areas of being pretty much productive with your time, doing something beneficial with yourself compared to, watching TV and stuff like that. Not to say, all TV is bad, because, I mean, you might like to watch the Nature Channel. Ain't no telling what you're doing with your life, but,
Would you consider that a hobby?
Watching the Nature Channel?
Yeah, like TV. You know what I'm saying? Or like watching your show.
Oh, I mean, I definitely feel like you have to have idle time, so I like, because I feel like you have to have the perfect balance, and I feel like it can all depend on the person, because I know some people that's work and they don't really get like a break or anything like that, and I know some people that might watch TV 24/7. Not to say that's personally not my preference. I really try to like limit my TV time, or if I'm watching TV, I try to multitask and do something beneficial while I'm watching TV.
I also feel like a hobby could be a hobby or a
craft.
Yeah, a hobby or a craft. I feel like also that could be used as like downtime. You know what I'm saying, from whatever, such as like your work or anything. Even though your craft might end up being your work, it could still be. I would still look at it as downtime because it's actually something that you enjoy.
Yeah,
anything like that.
I agree, and we always talk about like leisure time and stuff like that, and pretty much just making the most of your leisure time. So I feel like that definitely, kind of like factors in. But I feel like even with stuff like that, kind of how we, talked about, not really to even just go too much in detail with that, but kind of how we talked about on our last episode, as far as kind of documenting step by step what you do. I feel like that's one of those things, because like,
talking about for like productivity, like,
yeah, pretty much. Like I had caught myself, playing the game a lot, and I'd be on there, I'd be like, man, like 3 hours gone, 4 hours gone, and especially, once I had got the 5, once I got the PS5, I was really like, God, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I felt like a little kid all over again, and it was crazy because, even to this day, it's like a lot of people, still don't have it, so it's kind of like you could get it, like compared to paying like the retail price, or, like dropping $800-900 or whatever. But that's beside the point. But I was just like, dang, it's just crazy or whatever. Because I remember just being a kid, like, I pretty much got every game for Christmas, like, no problem at all. It was like never like a wait. But now it's like being grown years later.
I feel like even with gaming too, though, I feel like gaming could be a hobby or a craft, because
you really can make money from it, like, at this point. And that's kind of what I think about too. Like, one of my homeboys, he pretty much, kind of like locked in heavy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you get serious about it, as far as like sponsorships, tournaments,
I've been kind of on
Twitch.
that wave too, like just as far as posting stuff on my YouTube and anything. Like, I had started doing it big for real. Like, every time I play, you know what I'm saying? Especially if I
just
go
streaming or
crazy.
something.
Yeah, you know.
And
What
I feel
I'm
like
saying?
it's simple too. Like I don't like I personally haven't really done it to that extent or whatever. Like I played with streamers and I know they'll be streaming, and I go check out their page after the fact and they be poo cheese and I be like, like you really streaming?
Yeah, you feel me? But I feel like anything. Well, I don't know. It's a lot of ways that you can. I feel like it is just overall. It's important to have a hobby or a craft or one of the two. So that way, I feel like it can keep you out of trouble at some points. And everything like that.
And they really can like go hand in hand because this is like I guess a horrible way of thinking now that I think back on it. But I always used to think like with a new game, I'd be like, and it'll somewhat be like me convincing myself I need to go ahead and spend that money. I'd be like, man, I buy this new game. I'm finna be inside for the weekends. I'm not finna do this.
I did that with a couple of games too, like a couple games.
But I'm not.
See, I'm heavy like on the game. Like I play, like I go to the game. Like, I been and did what I had to do. I chill on the game. You feel me?
And like I guess kind of like with my journey now is like I find so many different things to do just as far as like productivity wise, like obviously with the podcast and stuff like that, like even days we not recording, I'm just going in like listening to the edit, listening to the videos, editing the videos, pretty much just trying to like perfect the audio or whatever, the quality. So it's like I see myself doing like different little things like that and kind of just cut back on the game because in all honesty it's not really like necessary. It's just something to do for your downtime pretty much.
See, like this would be considered like your craft or your hobby.
Yeah.
Your downtime, you would go to editing the podcast that we do or that you've been and did with previous people, or either thinking about other topics for the podcast. Just different ways that you can grasp a different type of audience with what topics that we talking about or how we speaking on certain type of topics.
Yeah. And that's important because I feel like, with pretty much anything, people neglect to think about the planning. It's more so about the actual action of it. But I feel like, honestly, the complete opposite. I feel like your planning is more important than the actual execution because that can determine, execution. I think I read a book or something like that, and it was pretty much talking about two people that were, I forgot, I don't even know what you would call them, like, pretty much two people that chop down trees. I guess you say loggers or something like that.
Yeah, I think
but it was like one person, was sitting there sharpening their axe the whole time. Right. And the other person just kind of start chopping away. The person that spent, the longest sharpening their axe, pretty much chopped the tree, down. So it kind of like just show you like the preparation is more key than just the actual action itself. Because if you just go into it blind, you might eventually figure it out. But why not be that much more, like pretty much just thinking smarter. And
it's like the PPP or something like that, like PPPP.
Yeah.
Like proper performance prevents.
Proper preparation prevents.
Yeah. Proper preparation prevents poor performance.
Yeah. Nah, that's key for real. Like, it's just all about the lead up for real. Like with anything, and as far as like with a craft or whatever, you really can like hone in, and it's like the way the world is set up with social media and just things like that. You could really be proficient in anything that you put your mind to. Like
I feel like your craft or hobby, whatever that you want to call it at this point, I feel like it can also do good to others.
Yes.
Like you might be so good at whatever you doing. Like say we talking about gaming, you might be so good at gaming, you in there dropping tips. Now you help someone else get on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They might have been already good, but they wasn't on that same level as you. Now you handing out tips. They saying how you play. Now they even took them to the next level. And of course they might probably shout you out like, hey, these are the people that I go to watch. Or know.
And I feel like, that little small push really matter. And that's kind of like, kind of how we talked about earlier, just as far as like different topics and stuff like that. Like just trying to, kind of like reach that different audience, because I feel like it's always interesting things that we, kind of discuss or whatever from our personal standpoint. Like I was telling you, earlier, we just like, I see some of the things that we talk about and, to me, it kind of like seem regular because I kind of know about it. And, vice versa, like some of the things you talk about, I'd be like, okay, well, I kind of, knew a little bit about that. But I feel like as far as the audience and stuff like that, it's like a lot of things that people really don't know. So it's kind of like about just really sharing that knowledge. And you could, you had the opportunity to do that with your craft or hobby or, whatever it may be.
Yeah. Put somebody else on, get someone else to gain.
Yeah. Milk the game, teach it to my son.
Yeah. You feel
In
me?
fact, shout out to all my sons out there, man. Like Drake said.
Shout out.
Yeah, but nah though, like man, if you don't have a hobby or a craft, you gotta have a hobby. I say that you probably don't have a craft, but you definitely got a hobby. And you know, a hobby can be considered anything. Literally, your hobby might be sleeping.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, I wouldn't. Well,
Like, you know, not just because you need sleep, like sleep overnight, but
yeah.
if you just sleeping during the day, because I feel like a lot of
You're
people
not
I
really
associate,
productive. Yeah, you feel me? That's not a productive.
that's not a productive hobby.
Yeah, you feel me? I feel like the craft or hobby should be productive, or at least to a point where if you doing it, you know what I'm saying, you at least trying to
Better yourself.
go
Better
to
yourself.
a different level with it. Like even if it just practicing basketball, practicing your guitar,
Oh yeah.
or whatever, anything like that.
I used to be raw at that Guitar Hero, boy.
Guitar Hero.
Uh-huh.
I was kind of raw at that too. You know what I mean?
It was, you know, back in my younger days.
Yeah.
I left that thing alone, you know.
I ain't played that in a minute.
Yeah, but nah, though, that's definitely important though, just as far as like just having something to do with your leisure time. Cause man, don't sit down and watch TV all day.
But with the potato chips, you know what I'm
Facts.
saying, and the soda,
Facts. You,
having the pimples all over your face.
you seen what that boy said on that commercial? You sitting there, you watching TV all day? It was that throwback BET
I remember,
right there.
Yeah, I remember that. That was like, wait, that was about school, ain't it?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You
What
get
it
up
was,
and
I
get
don't
acting.
remember the song, ain't
Oh, I forgot that one.
Get connected. Oh, that's what it is.
Oh yeah,
ain't it?
that was that one.
Get connected for free.
What's it? ICDC College.
Hey, I remember that one too.
But nah though, man. Yeah, get you a hobby, man. Hone in on your craft, lock in, man. It's gonna pay off in the end. But on to the next subject, man. Since we talking about potato chips, bumps on your face, all that. So what's your views on becoming a vegan and just eating in general from a wellness standpoint, as far as, you know, I guess eating clean, you know, what's your definition of eating clean? Because we did talk about nutrition on one of the previous podcasts, but like I say, different guests, different views, and I know you kind of, you know, honed in on the vegan path, so, you know, that's definitely something I'm kind of intrigued to hear about.
So I feel like when it comes to eating, everybody know, man, at this point, health is wealth, man. So, but I feel like no one got to jump right in it and go straight vegan or anything like that, because just like with anything, you know what I'm saying, it take time to get your body used to that kind of, you know what I'm saying, it take time to get your body right for that, to have your body prepped to go into that kind of, from you eating whatever you've been eating this whole time and then switching right over, you know what I'm saying, you might not really be into that. But I feel like it's other ways around just going straight vegan. You can go pescatarian. That's when you can eat like fish, shrimp. You know what I'm saying? Just try to eat like, with me, I try to eat like a lot of fruits and veggies, man. That's where I'm at with it. I don't really care. Like, I might still, like, I'm not 100% perfect with it. I'm not gonna lie to nobody.
Yeah.
You know, I still have my cheat days and stuff like that. But for the most part, I try to keep a real clean diet.
So when you say, you know, like a clean diet, I mean, of course, we talking about, you know, vegan and things of that nature. But what are like, so you don't feel like you missing out on any of your proteins and stuff like that when you associate with me? Because I mean, like I said, I know you can get a lot of protein from fruits, vegetables, and stuff like that. But as far like from my personal research, I feel like majority of your protein comes from meat. And I understand it is, you know, different supplements and stuff like that you can take for protein, but
well, like I said, when we actually talked about this beforehand, I was mentioning to you like Smoothie King, or you know what I'm saying, just any one of those smoothie places or anything like that. Or, you know, you can go into the store, get you the whey protein and stuff like that. You don't necessarily have to use the meat, you know, because you also said that, you know, that you can get protein and stuff from the plants and the fruits and stuff that you eat. So I don't really feel like I be missing no nutrition. I actually like my body more not in everything. I done really kind of like slacked off from eating that much meat and stuff like that. I also feel like I be having a lot more energy and everything. So
yeah, like, and I mean, I feel like on average from my personal, you know, kind of routine with like, you know, the whey protein and stuff like that, because I kind of was on a journey where I was on it, you know, consistently for months. But I felt like kind of my route that I was trying to go. I mean, of course, I was trying to like look for the gains and stuff in the gym, but it was just taking a toll on me as far as like just the bathroom, and I just couldn't. Yeah. I really couldn't deal with it like to a certain extent. I'm like, man, it's cool or whatever, but I really slick feel like I'm lactose, man. I'm gonna have to, tap in with y'all on a later podcast after I go to the doctor and see about that, because I really feel like that.
Hey, look, you ain't got to use the whey protein. See, I go to the whey protein just because, like,
most of them like that I've seen anywhere that I use, they around like, I kind of shoot for like around 20 to 22 grams of protein, and
But you'll use your like what you'll make your mix with, like.
So I make it with almond milk.
Almond milk. Well, yeah. Oh, yeah. See, I do that too, like.
Because I feel like it's
I do it with either one though. See, I didn't even mix it like with
I seen people mix with
fruits.
like okay.
Yeah, like fruit smoothies. You know what I'm saying? I mix it.
So like you get some like frozen fruit or something like that and put it in there.
And put it in there. I do it with water. You could do it with anything. So for you people that are lactose, you don't have to just use, milk or anything like that.
And I guess I kind of was like thinking about it from the aspect of, the whey protein having milk in it, because I mean, just of the, I guess of the, like I can't even think of really the word I'm looking for at this point. Just the pretty much the makeup of the whey protein. Like out of all the flavors, I still choose vanilla over pretty much any, and I have always kind of seen like
I got the chocolate one at this point.
See, I hated the chocolate, and it was just a personal preference thing. I just kind of never had a problem with the vanilla. I felt like the reviews I was reading, most of them were kind of just like mixing errors. Mm-hmm. People would be like, too strong, too sweet, but I'm like, you can always cut it farther by adding more liquid. Mm-hmm. Pretty much.
And then, they got the different ones too, so I feel like it probably just, like you said, finding that balance or whichever one that you want, and then whichever juice or beverage, whichever you want to mix it with. I feel like that play a big role into it too. But then again, you don't actually have to use the whey protein at all. You could just straight however you want to do it. Just make sure if you are looking to get a set thing of calories or a set thing of protein every day, make sure you should probably be logging it. Make sure that you taking care of. Make sure that you putting down
just as far as documentation.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying, documenting exactly what it is that you eating. If you want it to that extent.
So what was your process as far as documentation? Like, was it a certain log or anything like that you were using?
I was using the fasting for real. I didn't never really have to document what I was doing. Like, I would set alarms like for workout time and stuff like that, and then I would just be consistent if I was gonna use the whey protein, because I don't use it all the time, So, but I would just still like make sure if I did want to use it, like, okay, for sure I'm gonna use it right after I finish my workout, after I finish whatever meal, you know what I'm saying, or if I wake up in the morning, I hit it like that too.
Yeah,
I never actually like was writing it down like that. That was just a tip I was tossing out there.
Oh yeah, I was I can kind of like elaborate on it. I was just kind of curious to see your views on it, but I was actually using MyFitnessPal, and it's a free app or whatever. You pretty much go in there and it'll have like presets in there for specific different types of like foods and things like that, and it'll pretty much sort them by brand, because you already know, like, just because you use a light product at and it's this brand compared to another brand, it's still different things as far as like sodium, sugar, and things like that. Right. And something not really I guess related to like being a vegan or anything like that, but some of the things that I kind of try to do is make the small changes, and you'll kind of notice that certain things really aren't that bad. Like something I implement now, a lot of people don't like mayo, but I use light mayo, and I feel like
shit about the ground turkey too,
yeah.
That's another big step right there.
And it's simple, like everybody has their own personal taste buds and stuff like that. But with the mayo, I was using light mayo for so long. I want to say like over like a year or two period, and I forgot how I even had got it. But I ended up picking it up and I was using it. I'm like, man, it's not even really that bad. And when I went back to like trying to use regular mayo, I noticed the texture difference in like just the taste in general. Like it tastes way more greasier. Right. Compared to a light mayo. And then like you said with the ground turkey, I could really eat ground turkey like every day, because there's so many different things you could do with it, as far as like burgers, I was gonna say meatloaf.
Not to cut you off.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, if you just want to pack in like a lot of protein at one time, I also used to like get like a bowl, you know what I'm saying, or like some grapes, some zucchini, you know what I'm saying, cucumber, cut it up, you know what I'm saying, watermelon, just mix all that together, you know what I'm saying, and go crazy like that. Even though you ain't gotta finish it all in that one setting, you know what I'm saying, but you put enough in there, like, okay, I know this right here should definitely be enough for what I want to get through the day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Nah, that's key for real. Then it's just kind of like, just trying different things or whatever. And as far as like cucumbers or whatever, you pretty much, it's like, I know it's pretty much a lot of water in them. So that kind of assists you with that.
Hydration.
And I'm kind of glad that that cucumber, that little challenge and stuff kind of faded away, because that thing was a little trend. It was deadly. Made me didn't even, really want to eat no cucumbers like that.
Man, I eat them. I get buy it from the store and just cut it up, eating like that, mix it with salt and vinegar.
That's what I was just about to say, salt and vinegar.
Yeah. So there's different ways I could try it, man. So,
Yeah, it's a lot of things. I definitely say, get out there and try it. Go to your nearest, Whole Foods. Go get you some nice organic fruit out of there, and
step out your comfort zone, man. Health is wealth.
Pretty much.
I'm sure nobody would, you know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure that everybody would, what's the word I'm looking for?
Pretty much they would enjoy something.
You would enjoy. Like, you probably wouldn't go back. Or if you did go back, like, you know what I'm saying? Like me, I told you I still have my cheat days and stuff like that. But overall, I would feel the difference in my energy levels just from having a cheat day or anything like that.
And we
mess with your stomach too.
And we had kind of said that before, everything is good in moderation or whatever, but just kind of having that, balance was personally good for you. But, something else we got to talk about that we were both real big on, always talk about it. Got to have the fresh squeezed green juice.
Yes, that green juice. Yeah, y'all got to drink the green juice, man. Good green juice y'all can try is that naked juice.
Yes.
The naked juice, man. Go to the naked juice and get the green juice, man.
I'm telling you, and it's crazy.
I forget what it's called.
I forgot the flavor too. I had just killed the bottle the other day. I had got the 64 ounce, and I was looking on the back just to see what was in there. So no added sugars. I want to say it's like 24 grams, but to say it's a 64 ounce bottle, I feel like that's still kind of high, but
that's a lot.
Yeah, it's pretty much.
It's still for the best though.
Oh yeah, and it had like a lot of fruits, and I want to say like kiwis, oranges, apples.
Yeah, it do have a lot of that in there.
So that's that's just a different way to get your fruit in, because I forgot how many what your fruit intake's supposed to look like for the week, but I know it's supposed to be pretty high.
Yeah, your fruit intake. I mean, I don't feel like you got to go extra crazy on the fruit, but honestly, when you switch over from stop eating a lot of processed foods and stuff like that, those are gonna be your main things that you go to, and those are things that's gonna keep you real high in vitality, keep your energy levels high. You know what I'm saying? A lot of fruits and veggies. That's gonna be the main go to. You can still implement anything else up in there, like your tunas. You know what I'm saying? Your eggs. Cause I still do that too. I'm big on that too, like eggs and tuna. For real.
Now you just made me think of I did something it wasn't nasty to me. I didn't really like the texture of it when I was eating it, but I felt like it was almost a prison meal. So I had got some I had got some noodles, the shrimp flavor. That's the best ones. The chicken be busting too, but
I'm a fan of them shrimp flavors.
The shrimp probably my favorite. But anyway, I had got some of them. Had a little pack of tuna in that mug and had put the little tuna in there.
Hey, that's a way, but see, that's protein.
And that's what I was, that's what I was thinking about. And I was just like, man, I'm finna get this protein. And I had looked at, how many grams and stuff it was. And
you wasn't messing with it though?
Nah, it was good.
Like overall taste wise?
Yeah, it was good. Like I just hated the texture of it though, because the tuna was kind of like on the thicker side. So it's like even when you blend it in, it's like you still kind of get that tuna taste. And if you think about, tuna as I guess like how to go on a sandwich or whatever, there's so much like other stuff you put in there as far as like, I guess everybody do their stuff different, but me, I'm just kind of keep it simple. Right. Like mustard, mayo, pickles, eggs, and
usually if I do it, sometimes I wouldn't even go that far. I just the tuna or the eggs, of course, too. Yeah. I do like that. You know what I'm saying? And then just, you know what I'm saying, get my little knife and mix it up on there.
Yeah, mix her something real nice, real nice like.
You know.
Yeah, nah, but And everybody, different, because I had kind of like swayed away from noodles at a point once I had seen all them videos going viral with them people like patching stuff up with the.
Yeah, cause they is like heavy on like sodium. They like real
Yeah.
salty, and I don't think we even eat them right. Cause someone actually told me before, like, how like it'd be like 2 sections of them, right? When you open them, I think that you only supposed to eat one
section at a time.
One section at a time. You know what I'm saying?
And like I've been seeing, people kind of like, I ain't gonna say go viral off of it, but I was just watching Offset make some noodles this morning, and they just really wasn't, looking too enticing to me. That boy was tripped out.
You must have poured all the water out or something.
Well, that's funny that you say that, because that's really what I do.
You pour all the water out?
I pour all the water out because I cook them for 7 minutes in the microwave, just to make sure my noodles not, white or nothing like that, because obviously they not done. They probably still not done.
I do mine for 6 minutes. But see, I think, bro,
they just gotta be submerged in water.
Yeah, that's the key right there. The key is how much water you put in the bowl, or however you want to do it on the stove or not. Well, I think if on the stove, you really can't go wrong on the stove.
Yeah, but you can undercook them. I still feel like, but most of the time your water gonna probably cover it. But it's just kind of like having your. And the reason I kind of pour all the water out is because I kind of want to get all the seasoning. So, because I felt like. Most of the time, I've seen people do it, so throw it off like they'll
pull. Some people leave all the water in it. I ain't gonna do that.
Nah.
But I will. I leave a good little bit of water in it, so that way it's still like soupy to me. Cause I don't really like when it's without having the water in it. Like if I pour out too much water, I'll be like, dang, I pour too much out. I'll put some more back up in it. You feel me? But I don't really like to do that.
It's really ways you can finagle it, but like what I had seen Offset do was, so he had his 3 eggs on the side. I guess he was eating them like, literally on the side. Yeah. And then he had got his, like he cooked his noodles on the stove, had a bunch of water in that mug. He was pouring it out. It didn't really seem like he poured all the water out. He had got some sausages, put the sausages in there, which I have done it. I actually did like a couple weeks ago. Like some smoked sausage, but I kind of try to chill on the pork, like just because, knowing like some of the stuff behind it. Not to say I don't eat it, or, not to say that like completely knocked it out of my schedule, but like, my schedule, my routine. Not to say I, completely knocked out of my routine, but I kind of definitely did slack back on it just because of knowing like some of the things with it. But I feel like pork is really in a lot of the things that we kind of consume like on a daily basis and don't even realize.
Like what?
Skittles. Yeah.
I don't really see, like, I'm for real, bro. When I hopped on a journey, like, I don't really do too much candy or nothing like that, bro. Like, I still eat ice cream because I like cookie dough ice cream. You feel me? But that's not nothing that I like. You ain't gonna catch me really eating it. Like, that'll just be, feel me? And it got to be like a certain time. Like, I just had to crave it, to eat that. But for the most part, I just try to keep like a real, like I said, like a real clean diet for the most part.
Yeah, nah, it's just one of them things or whatever. But it's crazy. Like I was thinking about the pork and the Skittles. So that was something I had read before. I honestly don't believe everything I see, but it was kind of funny just to say it because it was like not directly pork, but it was something like, I guess I forgot the exact name of what the chemical was, but it was definitely on the back of the label, and it was kind of like associated with pork. But
that's why I feel like it's real important to like at least try to switch a diet up, cause like I said, like who would have ever knew, you know what I'm saying, if it is a true fact, cause I'm not sure, but it's still good to know what you're eating, at least putting inside your body, cause like this your temple, so if you want your temple to run efficiently.
Oh yeah, nah, facts. Whatever you put in your body is whatever it put out pretty much, and that's just kind of like pertaining to like energy and stuff like that. Yeah,
just not even food wise, like with consuming anything.
Yeah,
you feel me?
That's true. And the last thing I want to touch on with the just food as a whole is, I feel like one of the common like misconceptions that people associate with eating healthier is saying that it's expensive, which in my opinion is not the case at all times. Some things don't get me wrong, like they are higher, but for the most part, I feel like it's fairly reasonable, to eat healthy.
If you want to step it up, you might as well pay the little extra change to be healthier. That's how I feel about it.
And it's like we could.
I feel a lot better. I can tell you that.
I feel like we could definitely go, which we not finna do that, but we could definitely go in insight just as far as like kind of saying how, if you think about the whole terminology of it, how easy it is to go get a cheap unhealthy meal from a fast food place compared to, wanting people to like pay more to be healthier.
Right.
But like I say, we're not gonna get into that. But that's just something to.
Cause we could have just went.
I know.
We could have went crazy on that one.
But that's just something to think about, though. I always think about that. But pretty much just do your research, and also just because it say organic on there, whether you're talking about fruit, meats, that don't necessarily mean it's organic. Do your research, man.
I usually go for like a lot of non-GMO.
Yeah, that's me too.
Yeah.
When I get my chicken and stuff like that, and I get like tenders, breast, and I feel like they come in like a nice size quantity, and most of the time, people won't even know the difference. Now people will know the difference in like turkey and stuff, and I still eat like ground beef, but now I try to get like 93.7, so 93% lean and 7% fat, and sometimes I go above that, but
yeah,
still tastes the same to me.
Balance, man. I gotta get that balance.
Yes, sir. But off of that, on to the next thing, on the bigger and better things. As always, it's only getting more interesting. So, we're gonna keep hitting y'all with these different topics. So I feel like a lot of people could pretty much kind of relate to this. What's your views on keeping up with the current fashion?
For me, I do like to dress nice. I like to make sure.
I feel like all
not
people
just
do.
presentable, but I have my own kind of, my own little swag, about myself. Like, but as far as keeping up with fashion, like the veneers and stuff like that, like you probably won't catch me doing that. Like, I do have a grill, like I own a grill. You know what I'm saying? But like as far as veneers and anything like that, or really like True Religion jeans and stuff like that, I ain't really too big on nothing like that.
Yeah.
Like, I do like to have nice jeans, like don't get me wrong, but as far as like keeping up with
like my mind really kind of like elevated off of that when I kind of just start thinking about, at the end of the day, like who am I, really impressing in a sense. Right. It's like once you know that you just dressing for you, I mean, like you said, granted you want to look nice, you want to be presentable, but majority of the times people that's wearing, this, that, and the other, not to say, because I mean, you got money, of course they make and I think about that when you think of like high luxury cars, something that we'll probably like, some things that we'll never see, or, it's like rare that you see it. And I'm not talking about just something like a Rolls Royce or anything like that, because I mean, you see them, a decent amount or whatever. Not saying, it's not a nice car or that they're not expensive, but I'm just referring to like things like Bugattis or these 1 out of 10 cars that you see, things like that. It's like, I look at it like they make it for somebody, So it's somebody that's gonna buy them, and I look at clothes the same way. If you can afford it and like literally afford it, not just have to buy this and then go back home to go sleep on an air mattress,
Yeah. See, I feel like with fashion now though, like how they doing some of the fashion now, to me it's a little bit weird. Like with how they having like people wear dresses and stuff like that. Like, they trying to like make that like the norm. You know what I'm saying? I don't really feel like I'm not finna go do that. You know what I'm saying?
And I mean, I always say like to each his own, because I see like a lot of different little trends and stuff come into play, and I'm just like, to me it's like
the vest.
Yeah,
everybody's wearing the vest.
Everybody's wearing the vest, and it's like a lot of things just kind of like come and go. You'll see some dudes, kind of like paint their nails or whatever, and I'm just like, to each his own or whatever. Yeah. But the dresses,
I don't feel like you ever have to go out that far, to. I mean, that's your thing. That's your thing. Like,
and that's what I feel like.
Nobody.
That's what I feel like majority of the time it is. Like they'll see, a couple of famous people do it, and you will see like, people just like. Just me and you like walking from day to day, pretty much kind of doing things like that. But I kind of just try to, like I said, keep it just...
You're being yourself.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it. Like, I don't feel like if you're not following the fashion trends, I say that don't make you less of a person. That don't make no one better than you or anything like that. I feel like everyone's going to have their own type of style. Yeah, so
pretty much. Like, be true to self.
Yeah. Having to follow the scene with fashion, I don't feel like you necessarily got to do that. But if it's actually things that you like and enjoy, like you like how certain things fit you or whatnot, okay, yeah, go ahead and do that, But as far as trying to like fit in with somebody or fit in with the crowd,
no need to.
Yeah.
I feel like you pretty much said that. Like the best way possible. Like I just look at like a lot of different things or whatever. Just kind of like the people wearing masks and stuff like that. Not mask like as far as COVID masks,
yeah.
but I mean like, you know,
Yeah,
the Kanye mask and stuff like that. Like I see, you know, people starting to do that now.
Or the Pooh Shiesty mask.
Oh my, yeah. And that's just kind of like one of the things or whatever. Or the puffy jackets or whatever. And I be like, you know, it's gonna get cold now, but it wasn't cold 3-4 months ago. You know, you hot up in it.
Barely cold now.
Yeah, for real. I was about to say it's a little cool, you know. I smell gumbo in the air, but yeah. Nah, that's pretty much like I said. You know, you said that the best way possible. It's so important to just be true to yourself and just wear what you like to wear.
Right.
You ain't gotta keep up with nobody.
Now don't be to the point where, you know, you wearing it, but you know you ain't really wearing it for you. You know, you wearing it so you could like fit in or anything like that. Like people gonna talk about you whether you got the newest J's on, whether you got the oldest pair of J's on. So they still gonna talk about you. So stay true to self when it comes to that.
Yes, sir. Put that money towards something that you know you could really see, cause. Man, I see so many people nowadays, you know, selling shoes and stuff like that. And I had to catch myself because I felt like I was kind of almost on a wave where I was like buying shoes, like
Sneakerhead.
I wouldn't even say a sneakerhead. I was just seeing like a lot of things that I had liked. And me, I'm also over like as far as like when it comes to Jordans and stuff like that, I just get it because I want it, not necessarily because it's the newest thing. But I might, you know, go get something because I was like kind of like I really liked the 11s, so. I see these 11s, they might have been and came out 2-3 years ago. So, of course, they, you know, busting head when it come to, like, the resale. And it might be, you know,
oh, yeah, you was
three.
Being smarter about it. Like, let me catch it, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, I wasn't being smart about it. I was being dumb about it.
Oh, you got it, like, when they first dropped.
No, so when they first dropped, that's when they pretty much the cheapest. Like, you know, you might catch them for, like, 11s, like, $220, $240. But after resale, they going to go up another $300. So, you might... Yeah. But it wasn't too many shoes that I bought like that. But I was just seeing things that I thought I might possibly like. And I did like it, I wear it. But I'm like, man, you only got 2 feet.
Yeah. See, when it come to fashion with me, like, when it come to picking, like, buying clothes, anything like that, usually I buy clothes basically, like, off the night. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, if I'm about to go out, okay, yeah, I'm going to go get me a little fit so I can wear it. But then I, like, man, you might see me wear that shirt 13, 14 more times, you know what I'm saying?
I thought you was on the AI wave. You know what that boy do?
What?
That boy was on some stuff like, and I had read that I was just so mind blown just as far as like, the Reebok deal was probably like his best, and that's not even to get too much into sports, but that Reebok deal was probably the best thing he could have did because he was blowing off some money. When that boy was going like, you know, to away games, he pretty much like wouldn't even pack a bag. He'd just shop on the road. And then, you know what I'm saying, that'll be it. Like, so I could just imagine what his closet was looking like because I know he was bringing clothes back. I knew he couldn't have been that silly, but I had read this one story about, and you know, you think that's bad about clothes because I'm kind of underplaying and not really, you know, discussing the whole thing.
People, that's what a lot of people do, man. Shop.
AI was a big fashion trendsetter in the, you know, game or whatever. Had a lot of people dressing like him and just kind of showing them it was cool to be you on the court. But I had read where that boy also had went to a game or something like that, and he had lost his car in the parking lot. So he ended up just leaving it and buying another one. And this wasn't like no cheap car either. I forgot what kind of car it was.
See, now that's
extreme. Like,
that's extreme right there. You feel me? Even with having money, I mean, like, it is a point to get money, but you don't want to be not smart with your money.
Yeah, because that's just naive if you ask me.
Yeah, because ain't no way I'll be in that parking lot all day looking for it. Hit the alarm button and everything on it. We gonna find it today.
Nah, for real. And that's just really the way I feel about that one. I'm just like, you gotta have some type of sense to be like, man, can somebody find this for me or something? Like, if I don't want to stay out there, can somebody find this for me or something at least?
So that wouldn't happen. No, not with me.
But with that being said, as far as like, you know, keeping up with fashion and stuff like that, what's your views on your girl going out pretty much just kind of like dressed anyway? They don't really completely tie together, but you know, of course, some of the like more fashionable things I would say now for females, not really all items, because of course some things, you know, they look mwah. Yeah. It look, you know what I'm saying, real nice. But if this your girl or whatever, y'all been dating for a while, and all of a sudden she just kind of like want to switch it up, and she just start wearing like booty shorts out, stuff like that. Like, what's your take on that? Because I feel like everybody gonna feel different about the subject.
I mean, like, I feel like it gotta be some respect there, you know. So I feel like I know females wear booty shorts, you know, and everything like that. Like, I ain't gonna trip on you. Okay, you might put on some booty shorts this day.
Yeah.
Depending on what they look like. And now if you got if they got the rips and you know what I'm saying, like where your cheeks at and everything like that, like, now you're tripping, you feel me? But as far as that, like, I don't mind my women dressing flashy or anything like that. Like, I don't want you to go out here and not really have no respect for yourself. Cause at that time, you know what I'm saying, you gotta think about the attention that you gonna bring to yourself. Yeah. You know, if you out here dressed half naked, you know what I'm saying, see-through shirt, titties out, you know what I'm saying?
So do you feel like that's with that, and I wouldn't even say, you know, an insecurity, because I mean, obviously, you know, everybody has their threshold as far as like what they gonna allow.
Not an insecurity, I feel is more as a turn off.
Yeah.
If you are a taken woman.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If you single, you know, you gonna have some eyes, you know what I'm saying? If I'm single, I might see that and be like, okay, you know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't say that's high value. You know what I'm saying? In a sense, like, I feel like you should want to respect yourself more than that. Like, you shouldn't want to go out and be half naked. Like, it's okay to show your curves and everything like that. Like, I done seen a couple like,
you gotta show what your mama had gave you. You gotta show that, huh?
Yeah, you feel me? But you ain't gotta be like with some of the stuff that I see nowadays. Bro.
So
like,
you okay? So you said about the attention. If y'all together and she, you know, goes out like this or whatever, do you feel like she is doing that because she not receiving the attention that she feel like she should get at home? You feel like that could be a cause from it?
I feel like if that's the case, if you don't feel like I'm giving you enough attention, you should let me know that.
Yeah.
Off rip. You ain't gotta go and show your body to nobody else, because if that's the case, I might as well just let you go be with them. Like, okay, if that's the kind of attention that you want, go be single. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't really looking for that. If I'm at that point now, like I said, bro, I don't mind you, because I know some females can't even help it. Like, some of them just like blah blah, you know what I'm saying? It's done. Yeah. You feel me? So like, you can't even really do too much about that. But you'll have some that's, you know what I'm saying, body extra crazy curvy, you know what I'm saying, but they ain't finna go out there, you know what I'm saying, and show all that off. It's like they, you know what I'm saying, they can show off whatever's in they, you know what I'm saying, like with what they got on, they curves and stuff still gonna show. You ain't gotta go be half naked now. Like, come on, you gotta have some respect for yourself. Especially if you taking, you gotta have some respect for your man too. Oh yeah. You know? Because I'm not saying like I ain't gonna be mad if a dude try to holler at my girl, but I'm gonna be a little bit more upset if my girl out here with her titties or something, you know what I'm saying, like showing, you know what I mean, like, you know the kind of clothes I'm talking about, like with the holes like all through them and stuff like that. Like, now if you getting attention like that, like, it's gonna blow me a little bit, because I know what he over here for. He ain't really just interested in you at this point.
So what about a situation, because I have seen this before, so what about a situation, you and your girl together, and he think you just a friend, and he walk up and try to shoot on your girl, like, he'll ask you. I'll say that because this is the one I done seen several times. So like, dude would just be like, "Hey, bro, that's your girl," and you know, obviously he trying to shoot at her. Like, he ain't trying to, you know, come over there and
be like, "Yeah, that's me." You feel me? Like, if it's like that now, like he come up to me and ask me, yeah, like, is that your girl? Like, yeah, bro, this me. You feel me? Most men should have that respect then at that point. Like, all right, I'm gonna just go about my way.
You don't feel like there's like a little rude though? Because I kind of perceive it to be a little rude in a sense. Like, I'd rather you possibly just not even ask. I mean, I know that you're not gonna know unless you ask, but I just feel like it's kind of like rude in a sense.
I can actually see, you know what I'm saying, like they together, because I do that. Like, if I really want to shoot at a female for real, and like just because you standing at the bar next to dude doesn't mean that y'all together. So I probably won't walk up and ask him, you know what I'm saying, unless I could actually could see a little bit like, okay, he I don't know. I guess it really all.
That was what I say. It's a tough situation. Yeah. Like I feel like if they, kind of like conversing or something like that, if there's not a dude, either she trying to, talk to him or he trying to talk to her, vice versa. However, but
as far as a dude coming up and asking me if this my girl, I'd be like, yeah, bro. And then if like, you know what I'm saying, go about your business.
And I feel like most of the time, like on a rationale standpoint, like we wasn't on here talking, I probably would have said, some other stuff like what if he would have did. But I feel like on a daily basis, that's probably what you're gonna see. You'll see somebody come up to you, approach you, ask you, and then after you tell them yeah or no, they go about their day. But
now if you not that kind of guy and you just not caring, somebody probably might do you something. You understand? Because like you can't just come and disrespect no man like that. Like it's nothing wrong with coming and ask like, hey, do you talk to such and such or anything like that? Like, okay, that's fine. I'm gonna go about my, go about my way.
Yeah, and I feel like it can be, I guess, a little. I'm not even gonna say intimidating, but I guess it could be like a little rude. And that's why I kind of asked that because I'm just like, I seen the situation and on my personal opinion, just kind of like looking at it from the outside, I'm like, dang, like dude, kind of bold.
Yeah, I slick take it as like a compliment a little bit because it's like okay.
She bringing what I'm saying? Like, and that's gonna happen. I feel like that come with like just being a dude or whatever, and like pretty much knowing yourself, knowing what you had to bring to the table, and not being insecure. Because I feel like if you insecure about the situation, you already know how you gonna feel. Right. You gonna start thinking stuff that's not really there. Stuff like that gonna bother you. But like you said, it should be a compliment. Now if she's sitting there entertaining all of it, then it's
see, right then. See, if it's something like that, I feel like it should already be an understanding there. Like, if this man coming up trying to talk to you, it shouldn't really be no conversation going on. Yeah. Like, if we together, this man walk up and start talking to you, trying to get at you, you should tell him like, hey, I'm such and such. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna say there's nothing wrong with having a conversation, just a regular conversation, but I feel like I might have to be a little bit involved in that conversation too. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't just gonna be talking. What?
What say? What y'all over there talking about? Yeah, I got you.
I feel like it definitely have to be like that respect though. Because a lot of females ain't finna, just like how a female would think about it. They're like, why are you talking to her? You know what I'm saying? Anything.
And I was about to say, I'm always like rational when I, talk about like subjects and situations like these. Like I always try to see both sides because I'm not on no one-sided thing like, a dude's, gonna do this, dude's gonna do this. Cause like, I feel like both parties always tend to mess up from time to time, but it's just kind of like, energy and also like pretty much how you react to the situation.
Yeah. So how would you handle that situation? Like, you say you out by yourself, right? Or either you didn't walk somewhere like with your girl, but y'all separated at this point. Yeah. Like you walked over here to chop it up with your homeboys. A female walk up to you, like, hey, you got a girlfriend? How you handling that?
I mean, if I have a girlfriend, then I should answer like, yeah, I have a girlfriend. She right over there.
Right. Like, so what if she not with you? Like
if my girlfriend not with me?
Yeah. Like you out by yourself, just with the fellas.
Man, if I'm just out with the fellas, regardless of what time they on, man, you know me, I still gotta hold it down, man. Tell her my girl at home, she waiting on me. I'm sorry, I can't do it. I'm just sorry, I just can't do it.
Yes, sir.
So like we talked about earlier, or like you mentioned, with a high quality female, what do you consider a high quality female in your opinion? Off of the dressing, of course. Or do you feel like that plays a part in what you consider a high quality female?
Yeah, I feel like that plays a part, like with how you dress, like with, because that's you presenting yourself. So like, if you presenting yourself half naked and stuff like that, you're not really drawing the right type of attention. You feel me? You can't be mad about, even though I'm not saying that it's right for a man to come up and do that to you, because it's not, but
just kind of come up to you recklessly and just talk be on like whatever time, instead of kind of like approaching in a proper manner, like
So I feel like that plays a big key in it. I feel like her emotional, like how she handle her emotions, that's a big key. Like, big one.
But I feel like that could be compressed though. Like, you won't really know that until conversation down the line, because you know it's always kind of like, not always, because some females are open, you know, which I
feel
deeply
like
enjoy.
Yeah. But I feel like I would rather you have emotional maturity. I say it like that.
Okay,
Like,
I like
you
that.
gotta have emotional maturity. I don't care if you the finest female, because if you with me, like, I'ma still treat you like as such. You know what I'm saying? Tell you beautiful, whatnot.
That's
all
what
the
you are to
time.
me. Yeah.
Yeah, you feel me?
What about mental though? Like, what her mental gotta be? We already talked about, you know.
Mental, you gotta be. I kind of like females that on the same type of time I'm on. Like, I'm not saying that you gotta necessarily. I don't know, man, because with the spiritual, I kind of like a female that can actually sit down and talk to me about that. You know what I'm saying? Or just personal things that I actually like to do. I kind of like you to kind of be in tune with that.
Yeah,
you know
like,
what I'm saying?
I feel like nobody wants a person that's like 100% compatible, like where you pretty much like on my tail like all day, like,
Right.
oh, what, you like to do this? Oh, I like to do this too. Like,
Yeah.
I don't feel like, because I feel you pretty much have to have like your own hobbies or whatever it may be. Like, we could always come together, you know, and go on a date, go do this. Like, we're gonna have similar interests, but I don't feel like, I feel like it's almost an issue when we like all of the same things, because it's kind of like we probably, I feel like on that extent we probably not putting each other on to nothing new, because we so locked into having the same interest.
See, to me now, like, at this point in life, I feel like, even though, like, I know it fell into a trend and whatnot, but I feel like some of that's just like really what it is, like just a trend. Like, some people actually just trying to show that they on this type of wave, but you really not on that. So I feel like you actually gotta be there with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, when it comes to certain things like that.
Yeah, nah, I agree.
So, like, how she present herself, emotional maturity. What else would I consider high value to me?
So what about, I know this is something we always talk about too. What about, you know, just like kind of their zodiac signs and just kind of like their knowledge on the signs? Because sometimes I feel like a lot of the stuff I read is BS. People pretty much just kind of like have these certain agendas, and they'll be like, okay, well, I'm a Capricorn, so it say right here in my horoscope I'm like this, when you're not even really like that. You trying to formulate yourself to be pretty much what somebody told you are, you know.
See, I feel like, okay, because if you think about it, bro, astrology, right? Astrology, like the oldest science that we got here on Earth, is astrology. So when it comes to zodiac signs, I'm not ever telling no one to go and base your relationship off a zodiac sign or a horoscope that you read off of Google or anything like that. But there are, like, that is kind of like your what's the word I'm looking for? Like your energetic signature. In a way. You know what I'm saying? Like, you are gonna carry some of these traits,
but not all.
Yeah, probably
and
not all.
And that's kind of like, I guess, my whole, you know, point of stating it. I kind of feel like a lot of times people are trying to fall into that like fad of being like, okay, I'm a Capricorn, I know I act like this, it say I'm, you know, moody, when in reality you're not even really a moody person. You making yourself a moody person, which really make you seem crazy to me. Like, but
then that would still be falling under moody.
Crazy.
Yeah, that too.
Non-thinking.
Yeah, you feel me? But I definitely wouldn't just judge it off of that though.
Yeah.
You feel me? Because you still gotta meet this person, get to sit down and talk with this person, and actually see how they are. Now, you might see some of them traits pop and be like, okay, well, I know y'all is kind of like that.
I didn't mean like really, you know, strictly base it like off of their zodiac sign, but I meant like their knowledge or something, like the knowledge as far as like zodiac signs. You feel like that's something.
I like that. Like, I like females that's intellectual, like that's on that. You know what I'm saying? That's really attractive to me. To me, that'd be like the most attractive thing. You know? I do like for a pretty face. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just me. That's what I'm.
And everybody got their own preference.
You know, but if you there with me, like that that's gonna be a big turn on for me, because it's like, oh, you feel me? Like, she know a little bit of something. You feel me? So like, and that's like the kind of stuff that I'm into at this point in my life. So I feel like that play a big key.
Yeah, I feel like some that I, you know, really like, I'm really into, as far as just kind of like moving around or whatever, just seeing different things and just kind of like doing different things. Like, it was crazy. Like, you know, I feel like I kind of always consider myself to be somewhat as adventurous when it comes to, certain things. So, and I mean, as far as like outdoor activities and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I had went zip lining before, and that was just something I feel like it was kind of like out of the blue, and not to say, it's like uncommon to do, because I mean, hundreds, thousands, however many people, do it or whatever. But I felt like it was kind of just almost one of those things that's fun. And I had like people, that don't like to do simple things like that. In my eyes, of course, it's simple, but it's kind of like.
So you like them to be like step out their comfort zone a little bit.
Pretty much, yeah. That's
like
pretty much
outside.
Yeah, and it don't have to be nothing, like hellified like that or whatever. Like I recently this year went rock climbing. It was kind of like a little scary or whatever, because once
like
well, no, it was indoor.
Oh, okay.
But it was still, I forgot how tall like the building itself was. I want to say like maybe 30, 40 feet or something like that. So it was still pretty high or whatever. But that was, kind of like a fun experience I had when I did that with my little brother. And we kind of had fun or whatever. But things like that, just kind of like stepping out of your comfort zone, because I feel like I was almost, in a sense, like more involved than him, and I kind of had to set the example, because I feel like he was scared to go to the top, and I was like, man, we not about to.
Somebody gotta do it.
Yeah, somebody gotta do it. So, but yeah, just different things like that. Just being being willing to like step out of your comfort zone as far as like anything, as
Trying new things.
really like food, adventures, traveling.
And I also don't like I consider like high value female, like that's a female that kind of know like she up there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Know your worth.
Yeah, not always gonna be down on yourself or like, oh, I'm ugly, or I'm not like this with my body, but don't ever do nothing about it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a big no. Like you can't be like that. Like if you gonna complain about your body,
why not do something about it?
Yeah, why even complain about it? Why just not go get right? Don't always come to your partner and bringing in that negative energy, like, oh, I'm so this, I'm so that. You know what I'm saying? That's energy draining to anybody. You know, like nobody gonna want to deal with that.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, when I had just kind of really start looking into just the whole energy aspect, as far as like we talked about on the last episode with, semen retention and things of that nature. It's just kind of like even just pretty much like what you pretty much put out, because people always make little posts talking about, negative energy, positive vibes, this, that, and the other. But I feel like some people really don't live by it. But it's kind of like you can't really, have no set rule in effect as far as like, well, if they do this, I'm going to cut them off, this, that, and the other. But it's kind of like, you could definitely distance yourself and like choose who you choose to, give your energy off to, because when you're around them, you're giving it off regardless if you know it or not.
Mm-hmm. I also feel like how I value, like, don't get me wrong, like I know passions, especially when you like actually messing with your person, like somebody that you really into, like you really gonna be sexually attracted and stuff like that. But like I feel like too much of that could be a bad thing too at a point, because it's like you said with semen retention, like okay, that's something that I practice, so like I gotta also have a female that can respect that. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't, I don't mind you being an info, you know what I'm saying, but like I'd rather you be that when I'm, you know what I'm saying, like on my time. Like I'm not just putting it on my time, but you know what I'm saying, like you gotta respect me as well, because like this is an actual practice that I'm implementing into my life. And I feel like if you don't really respect that, then you ain't really respecting me or what I'm trying to offer, you know?
Yeah.
So I feel like that's another key to me with me at this point anyway.
Yeah, and I feel like, that's definitely true. I feel like it, kind of like just increases your, stability as a man. Like, not to say, it always has to be like a masculine counterpart, but, pretty much from like the book I was reading, it was just kind of like stating that in every relationship, that's kind of why, they have that balance. Is almost kind of like a battery as far as like a negative and a positive. You can't have one without having the other. So sometimes the woman will play the masculine role, not to, be on no like funny stuff or nothing like that. But, she'll have like masculine traits and stuff like that. And the dude will have like feminine traits, and it'll just kind of like balance out. I seen like plenty of relationships like that. Not to say, the dude's soft or nothing like that.
And see, that go again with signs too. Like, because every sign like a different element. Like you got water, you got earth. You feel me? Like that's even in some cases. Like if you, not saying that it don't ever work, because some people really enjoy like being with the same sign or anything like that. But
yeah.
Sometimes like if you a fire sign, you might need that water sign. Like like she actually come in and actually know certain things to do, certain things to say to like, cool you off, or messing with a earth sign, she come through, and actually like level you out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like so.
Like, and the specific book that I was referring to was The Way of the Superior Man, and like I said, I really didn't get too deep into it. And I know you had told me that you had read it or whatever, but we're not gonna discuss it until I finish reading that book.
Yeah,
But like I say, it's a lot of good content as far as right now. I think I want to say like I'm on around page 50 or something like that. Might be 200 to 300 pages. But like I say, overall, a good read. Really have a lot of knowledge in there already. And like I say, it'll kind of just talk about stuff like that from a relationship standpoint, and just from like a sexual standpoint. And I feel like if you personally feel like you're an individual that is like mentally prepared to read something like that, and kind of like really open-minded as far as to like understanding, because some of the chapter titles, I want to say, can be somewhat like misleading. Like you'll read them and you'll be like, dang, like, I don't know how I feel about this. But that was kind of like my same reaction when I was reading, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And it was kind of like ironic, because a lot of the topics always had like a good explanation. And I'm always, open-minded to seeing other people's opinions and things of that nature, because I feel like that's part of like being human. Not to say everybody's going to do it, but that's why they call opinions and not facts, because, everybody is really entitled to their own. So.
And since we speaking like on that, like just sexual wise, like it's okay, like intimacy, being able to talk with your partner, you feel me, that's intimate too. That they could think that's sexy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they might enjoy it. Well, I ain't gonna say they gonna enjoy that more than one or the other, you know what I'm saying? But like some people don't want to just be in that state of, with a man especially, like when you actually, like if y'all was to take up some of these things that we talking about and actually go study it, you'll really start to understand, like just constantly doing that, you putting yourself in like a state of depletion, like you kind of really hurting yourself, you know what I'm saying? Like the woman is not really having no effect of that, because it works different and actually if you actually go look up this stuff, you know what I'm saying, and do your own research, you'll figure that out on your own.
Yeah.
But like you don't really want to be stuck in that state of depletion or doing that so much with each other. Like, not saying there's nothing wrong with doing that, because it's natural, it's gonna happen. Like that's we here to repopulate.
Yeah, pretty much. And that's like I said, that's pretty much like I said on the head with that, for real. Like, and it's just crazy, just thinking of like different views on it, and just kind of like the different mindset that kind of like came behind it. Because like I said, as far as like the whole retention thing or whatever, not to even touch too much on that, I just feel like it's important. And it's just kind of like I
feel like every man should try that.
That's just what I was about to say. And like I say, do your own research on it. Like I always say, don't just take what we saying. Do your research on it, and come to your conclusion. Try it out, and spread the knowledge. Mm-hmm. Yeah, spread
honestly,
the knowledge.
I feel like with you holding off with your woman, she gonna want you even more after that. You feel me? So,
and the book kind of talked about that too. Yeah. Not even just from a sexual standpoint, but just pretty much being firm in your firm in your choices. And I don't say that to say like be a rebel or nothing like that. Like, yeah, whatever I say, go or whatever. But don't be so quick to change your beliefs because
female.
Yeah, and
you still gotta have that masculine frame. You gotta hold masculine frame. You gotta be able to. Or you gonna be a pushover.
And I feel like it could work in both ways, but it's kind of like the book kind of also elaborated. And like I said, you really have to, I feel like, be in that mind state to kind of like really grasp the messages passed on in the book or whatever. Because a lot of people that kind of see stuff like that and get offended or whatever, just because it might seem sexist or whatever else. But like I say, just things like that. It's just definitely important to, if you came to this conclusion after doing your research or whatever, and you really feel strong about this, no one that didn't do the same thing you did or doesn't have prior knowledge should be able to change your mind on something that you said on. And the book, like I say, hate to keep talking about the book, but like I say, it was a lot of gems in there. Y'all definitely got to check it out, even though I didn't finish reading it. Mm-hmm. But it talked about and I don't know if you remember this part where it talked about just kind of like being firm on your decision with your woman. Mm-hmm. And like having the effects of your children seeing stuff like that, like you not being firm,
right,
and not being true to self, and not like knowing your inner self pretty much.
And see, even practicing that when you do go to have a kid, your kid will even come out stronger, you know, won't really be having sicknesses or anything like that because you actually standing on what you know what I'm saying, like what's kind of natural, but it doesn't seem natural no more because everything we've been taught, you know what I'm saying, we've been taught to release early, like at an early age, you know what I'm saying, like, and then at that, we don't just do it once a try, we actually put ourselves in a state of depletion, you know what I'm saying?
You know, just had it in like constant, you know, constant rotation, just like a lot of these, you know, toxic situations or whatever. And, you know, that's kind of like becoming the fad. Like, we ain't got to, you know, talk on that or whatever, but it's like, if you pretty much, like kind of like wrap that up by saying, if you feel like you're in a, you know, negative state, whether it be, you know, relationship, negative mental state, and you feel like it's like a rotating cycle, figure out what's the problem and change it. Get out of that situation because you don't have to be there
At all.
Yeah, so
I'm pretty sure with you practicing that, you'll feel a lot better, man. Just y'all do your own research though, man. Check out the book, The Way of Superior Man.
the book is by David Dieter, man. So go check it out, most definitely. And you got anything else for the folks before we wrap everything up?
I actually could say if that is something that you are trying to practice, and you having a female that doesn't want to support that, I kind of feel like that's not the female that's for you, because you basically trying to, at that point when you practicing that, I feel like that's when you building your value as a man, because we talking about value. So I feel like when you practicing that, you building your value as a man. So if that's all a female is coming to you and wanting from you, that's not it. Yeah. That's not high value female material right there.
Yeah. But like I said, everybody had their own preference, man. But go check out the book. And without further ado, man, we're going to wrap up this episode, man. Peace.